Hello everyone, this is Susan Malloy of Silver Lady Stamping, and thank you for joining me today. I'm happy to have you with me. I am participating in a card challenge using the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper, and I was sent 4 pieces of the paper, 4 small pieces of the paper to make a card for the challenge. And this is the card design that I came up with. It's kind of, I don't have this paper, but it's kind of a fun paper. Has a lot of different abstract designs in it. But so I decided to turn it into a birthday card. And hold on, what did I use? I used the, here it is, for the sentiment, the Celebrating You stamps. Here, where is it? Happy birthday. Right there. There's the happy birthday. So I really like, this is a nice stamp set. I like it. I think this one is in the January to June catalog. The Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper is also in the January to June mini catalog. So this is the card that I made. I thought it came out kind of cute. And then I closed it with some sticky dots, whatever you call them, the Velcro dots, right? That you can just buy at wherever. You can probably even get them at the dollar store. And I cut the top of it, as you can see, and like envelope style, using the basic borders dies. Let me move that over. These are the basic border dies, and you get, this is the one that I ended up using, this one right here on the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get 6 different border dies. This one I thought would be a good one to use for like a cloud cover on a card. I'm gonna think of something to do that with, but I just thought that would make a great cloud, a band of clouds. Anyway, this is what I use to cut the top of the cardstock to make it kind of envelope style. So then you open it up, and here's the sentiment, and this is a gift card pocket. So this is what I came up with. So I used the heart punches. I used the ombre specialty paper that has a lot of different colors to it, and so I decided to just use that for the center, and I just used some pink cardstock for the bottom layer of the heart. And for the heart, I used the 2 punches that are in the annual catalog, the scalloped one and just the regular one, which is a little smaller. And then also for the inside on the gift card holder, I rounded the corners, just using the corner rounder from the trio punch right there. Okay, so I still do have 2 pieces of the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper. Here's one side, and then this is the other side. I really like, that's a nice one. I really like that. And then I thought this was kind of a nice one too. But for today's card, I think I'm going to use these 2 pieces. And some of what I'm going to do is going to be a little bit of card making on the fly, shall we say. So we'll see how this goes. And then I also, just in case I need it, I grabbed a piece of blue paper from the pattern party pack that's in the annual catalog. You get like, oh God, like 48 pieces of cardstock, 8.5 by, no, 12 by 12, not cardstock, but you get 48 sheets of 12 by 12 double-sided paper. I think it's just for $11.50. It's a really good bargain. But anyway, I might need an extra sheet of designer series paper for this card, and if I do, I just figured I would have it ready. So this is what I'm going to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to cut the card base. All right, move some of this stuff out of the way, and I'll come back to it. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut. I'm using, for the card base, I'm using Night of Navy, and I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. Okay, so we're going to have it at 4 1/4 by 11. All right, now we're not going to fold it yet. All right, let me move this out of the way. Now I'm going to die cut the end. So I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. I shouldn't call it a Big Shot though, should I? It is the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. These, if you don't have one, and if you have a Big Shot, that's fine. That's made by Sizzix. What makes the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so easy is the plates are numbered. So you have 1, you have 2, and then you have the top 2 plates, which are both numbered 3. But it'll tell you the what the sandwich is supposed to be, whether if you're doing die cutting or if you're doing embossing. It will tell you, and there is an embossing plate that comes with this when you buy it. I don't have it out because we're not embossing. We're just going to be die cutting. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in plate number 1. We're going to put in plate number 2. Okay. And we're going to put in one of the number 3 plates. Okay. Here's that. You're going to put in your cardstock, whatever it is that you want to die cut. And you're going to put your die face down on the paper. All right. And I'm going to put this kind of somewhere, make sure I got it in the center of the paper. Now, hold on, you know what? I'm going to try to get it even on both sides. And if it's not completely even on both sides, don't sweat it. It's just half of it's going to be covered anyway. All right, so I'm going to just hold it down a little bit with some washi tape because it does tend to move. Now you'll put your top plate, the other number 3 plate. All right, put that on top. And then we'll push it until you can feel it, give it a little, now it can't go through anymore. And then you start cranking. Look, you can see my camera in the thing. Okay. All right, I'll move this out of the way. Washi tape. This is kind of lousy washi tape. I'm going to be 100% honest because it takes off some of the cardstock, which does not make me very happy. And I got good washi tape, I thought. I got it at Michael's. All right, so it's left a little bit of the tape. Right. And it did take off a little bit of the cardstock. Oh well. It's the way it is. All right, so now we're done die cutting. I'm going to move that over. I'm going to bring back my paper trimmer. And you can probably see this is not exactly centered. But that's okay. So I'm going to make a flap you know, that you can fold down, like this one, you know. So I want to score it to, I'm going to score it at, what did I score it at? Let's see. Let me measure it. I scored it at, turn it around, I can't see it, at 1.5. All right. So I'm going to just put the point at the 1.5 mark. Okay. And there we go. You know, having it be at a little off center gives it a little visual interest, so that's not so bad. All right, we're kind of done with that for the time being. All right, now we want to fold it up to the score line. Let me get my bone folder out. You're going to just push it up to the score line, and we're going to fold it. Okay. And that's that. There we go. So on to the next piece now. And let's see, what is the next step on this one? We could put the Designer Series paper on the front. Okay. So I'm thinking this one. Okay, but I need to measure it. This is the part that's on the fly because I'm never sure what the length of it's going to be based on the fact that we have to die cut the top and we have to fold the bottom. All right, so this part's not going to change. It's 4 1/4. So we'll cut paper width at 4, and then we'll cut. All right, so this measures. All right, I'm going to cut this at 4 1/2 by 4. Okay. Let me see. 4 is the, we already have it at 4, and then I'm just going to cut it at 4 1/2. Okay. Now save this piece. We're going to use it for one of the flags on the front. So we have 2 flags here, so I'm going to save that one. Okay. All right. Let me get my liquid glue. Paper. This particular one, it almost is like a 60s kind of pop art or something. It's so bright, vivid colors. Okay, there we go. There's that. Now, okay. Now on this one, I did put a strip across the top, and the reason I did that, well, I'll show you why. I put the flags up there, and then I used that to kind of cover it over. I'm not going to do that quite yet. So I have this piece, and, oh, you know what? And then we have this piece that goes on the inside, which is going to be this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the inside because I want the that bottom piece. 4, so we said cut it at 4 1/2 by 4. Okay, so I'm going to save this piece too. And this will go on the inside, or we could use that side. don't know, I kind of like this one. I like the gold elements to it. So I'll put it aside for now. But I'm going to, yeah. All right, we're going to make flags. So you have the two scrap pieces, and we're going to make flags out of them. All right, so we'll just cut up the bottom, slice up the center, and then from the end to the center, and the other end to the center. Okay. Now, because I want them both to be about the same, I'm going to put the cut one over the uncut one, and then I'll just use it as a template. Okay, that takes care of that. All right, so I'm going to glue these two together. Okay. And then I'm going to, might have been nice if I had a different paper. Maybe I should have used this other one, but it would have been too monochromatic. That's okay. All right, I'm going to put a little glue on the back. And I'm going to glue it down on the flap. Oh, I see some glue coming out. You know, I participate in these card challenges every month. And sometimes when, you know, and there's always a theme. Usually it has to do with a designer series paper. And sometimes when I get them, I really just absolutely don't know what to make. Other times, like this one, all of a sudden just came to me kind of quickly. Mainly because I had been playing with the idea with some other papers and threw them out, and it just didn't come together. So I figured I'd give it another go, and this time it came together. Okay. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to cut out the hearts, and I'm using this, I think it's polished pink, super bright, right? Okay. And the ombre, this is the ombre paper, and you can see I've already been cutting out the hearts. So this is the ombre paper, so it goes from light to dark. And you get other colors as well. Let's see if I can dig it out. There's, you know, purple, and there's pink, and a yellow, and I think this one is Poppy Parade. So as you can see, and there's even like, down the bottom, if you can see it, I think that's Calypso Coral. You get a whole bunch, and it's the ombre specialty paper. Really nice paper. If you like glimmer paper, this is a good one to have because it's got different colors to it. So I'm going to use the lighter end of it. So I'm using the pink because it has pink in it. I know the pink isn't really exactly matching, but it's the closest color I could get. So I'm trying to decide if I want to put another strip across here to cover that. You can see this popping out the top. I don't know if I like that. And if I do it at an angle, you can definitely see it. So, okay. This is where this paper comes in. Or I could do another piece of glimmer paper. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just do a piece of glimmer paper across the top. Let's see how that looks. Okay. I really need a little strip. Let me do it the other way. So just doing like a 1/2 inch. Just cut off the extra strip. And then that way, now I'm not fighting with a little piece that's showing up there for no reason. Okay, let's see. Did I pop this up on a dimensional? Nope, I did not. All right, so I'm going to put some glue. Let me put the glue here. All right, so now I'll just need to grab a piece of white cardstock so I can stamp the sentiment. All right, let's see, my stash of extra bits and pieces. Let's see, is that okay, I'm gonna stamp it, and then if I need to trim around it, I will. Okay, now let's see, here it is. Let's see, happy birthday. All right, and for this, I'm just going to use some black, tuxedo black memento ink. a little mark on it, but you know what? I am going to put a gem dot over it. Okay. Put this back. I'm going to just trim it down a little bit. I think that's going to be a little bit better. Move this out of the way. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Get the glue again. And I'm just going to put a little in the center. Okay. Now, I have these, the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, and but I also have the holiday rhinestone gem dots. Okay, let me see, do I have an open pack? Yes, I do. So these are the holiday rhinestone basic jewels, and I'm just trying to decide if I want to do the iridescent ones or the blue ones. I might do the blue ones. For this one, I did the iridescent ones because this is a lighter card, but I think this one, because it's a darker card, maybe the blue would look better. I don't know. We're about to find out. So I'm going to put this over that smudge mark. And I'm just going to put maybe just one more, and I'll put that over here. Here, I'm just going to do 2. That's plenty. But on this one, you get the Night of Navy, Mint Macaron, Shaded Spruce. That's not real red. That is, well, you people will probably screaming it at me. That's the Christmas color. And Pumpkin Pie. Does it say it on the back? No, God forbid, it should tell you on the back what the colors are, right? Cherry Cobbler. I'm pretty sure that's Cherry Cobbler. Okay. I just wanted you to know the colors. All right. Get some of this trash out of the way. All right, so now for the inside. I'll put this on afterwards. All right, so we have this piece that's going to go down here. Okay, and all right, so I need a larger piece of white for the sentiment. So move this over, get my paper trimmer again, and all right, so this is, we said this, so this paper is at 4 by 4.5. Okay. So we'll do it at 4.25 by 3 3/4. Bring the card back in. Let's see. Yep, that fits nicely. All right, so out of this, let's see. Oh yeah, you are every bit of wonderful. So that's the one that I used. We'll use that one again. Because I don't want you to have to be dragging out every stamp set you have. Just trying to find the right sentiment. Sometimes stamp sets, I don't know if you notice, but sometimes the stamp sets will have, oh, like, you know, a happy birthday, but then there isn't another sentiment in the set, in the stamp set, that you can stamp on the inside. It's like, no, nothing fits. So you got to go find another stamp set that has a sentiment that you can stamp on the inside. Oops, you know what, sorry about that. Fortunately, this stamp set did have one that I could put on the inside. All right. I'm going to stamp this at the top. There we go. I stamp my sentiments on the top instead of the middle because that way people have a chance to, you know, have a place to write what they want to write. Oh, putting the wrong one over here. Okay. So now let's tack it down. You give it a little back rub. Sometimes if you have like ink on your hands or glue on your hands, I turn it over and do the other side. I don't want to get it on my white cardstock. Okay, that looks nice. Now on this one, I put another little strip of designer series paper, but I don't really have an extra piece. So let's see, did I use up all my, yeah, I used up all my designer series paper, which is why I have this piece. Okay, this is what we're going to use for the card holder, right here, this piece. All right, so I'm going to cut it at 4. All right, wait. Yeah. Let's see if I did this right. 4 by 3.5. Yeah, so you're going to do it 4 by 3.5. Now this particular paper, I wanted to make sure I got it right because you can see the pattern of the leaves and everything go in a particular direction, and I didn't want it to be like that. If it was, it's not like it's the end of the world, but still. All right, so now I want to score the 2 sides and the bottom because I want to fold them. So I'm just going to score them at each side at 1/2 inch, so that it's going to end up being 3 inches when it's closed. And score it 1/2 inch on the other side. And then on only one side, and it doesn't mean it can be either the top or the bottom. So you're going to, you know, turn it and then score it at a 1/2 inch. So you have two sides scored at a 1/2 inch and the bottom scored at a 1/2 inch. All right, so it's hard to see. Oh, look. All right, but I'm going to trim the bottom corners. Okay. Get rid of those. And fold those. Fold each side. And then I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm just going to give it a snip there and a snip here. I don't know if I really need to on the bottom, but I'm going to anyway. Okay. You know what? This needs to be snipped too. This cracked. It had to do with the way I don't know why, the fibers in the paper. So just be aware of it. I'm going to leave it for the sake of this video. Do I have my Night of Navy ink out right now? Yes, I do. So what I'm going to do, because there's a, just so the white doesn't show through. So, you know, when it's done, it's going to, you know, have like white. So I'm going to just give it I'm going to give it a daub of ink. Try to cover it. Okay. All right. So that does happen sometimes. Your paper will crack. I don't like it, but not much I can do about it. And, oh, you know what we want to do too is, okay. Before we glue it down, I'm going to do a little corner rounding. We'll see how this goes. And you know what? I need to grab our circle punch. Okay, sorry about that. This is a 1.5 inch circle punch, but really you can use anything. What I want to do is just give it a little thumb hole. Like that. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put some glue on the bottom and on the sides. And I'm going to glue it down to the card. A little bit of glue oozing out. All right, then, as you can see, you know, you can still put a card in there. So, you know, if this were a card, you know, you'd still be able to put it in there. So it's open. All right. And then really just the last thing you need to do, and I ran out of black Velcro dots, so I'm just going to use my white ones. The way I line them up together is I just put them together, the two of them together, and then I put it on and then fold it over and press it in place. Now you can use the flat magnets, but I don't have the right magnets, so there we go. And it gets easier. There we go. And then person opens it, you write your message, you have your gift card in there, and it's a very nice happy birthday card. Something a little bit different. So I hope you like it. I'm going to be doing another video, and here's the two of them. Let me bring the other one in. So here's the two cards. Like, again, these were made with the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper that's in the January to June catalog. So check them both out, and I hope you like them. One that a video that I'm going to be making, hopefully I can make it tomorrow, is, you're going to love it. These cards were made with junk mail and designer series paper. So just, you know, you get your junk mail, right? Any kind of envelope, even the ones with the windows. And I'll show you, you just cut them down. You're going to cover them with designer series paper. And that's what both of these are. And these become pocket cards. They're not cards that you open. They become a pocket card. So this one I'm not quite finished because I want to make a tag. But I've used a butterfly from the Butterfly Brilliance dies. And I used the shimmer paper in doilies, and I used the Highland Heather ink on this one, and I used hand-penned designer series paper. And this one I used Eden's Garden designer series paper and the Honeybee Home stamp set. And this one I did make the tag. So here, this is the card on the inside, and then you can write on the back, or you can just write on the front. It gets tucked in. It measures 5.5 by 4 1/4, so it fits into a standard envelope. It has a flap, but this flap doesn't go anywhere. It's just there. So I'm going to do a video. No, it can't be tomorrow. I'm doing an all-day stamp camp tomorrow. So it might be Sunday or Monday. I'll be doing another video showing you how to make these pocket cards using just your junk mail. And I already know you get a ton of it, right? So if you don't have any, check your mailbox today when you get your mail today or tomorrow and save those return envelopes. And like I said, it doesn't matter even if you have the outside envelope. We're just going to cover it with designer series paper so you're not going to see it. We just need it as the base of the card. It's going to be so cute. You're going to love it. So again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I look forward to having you join me again. Thank you. Bye-bye.